It could be. Any fucking crab could be a sleepless. Listen. Shaylin pinched the thin charcoal pencil into a series of straight lines radiating from a sphere on the horizon. That sphere wasn't quite the sun, nor was it one of the moons. Clouds outlined in charcoal seemed to stream toward it, and the sea beneath them. A drawing could never convey the bizarre nature of that ocean, made not of water, but of small beads of translucent glass. Welcome to another reading vlog! Hello friends! So, I'm now reading Words of Radiance by Brianna Sanderson, the second book in the Stormlight Archive series. If you missed my first reading vlog for The Way of Kings, I will link that down below. I should state that this vlog is going to have spoilers for probably all of Stormlight, but at least books 1 and 2 of Stormlight. And for those who don't know, I have read this series before. If you somehow didn't know that, this is not my first time reading this series. This is not like a live reactions first time reading vlog. This is me reading it for the 14th time because I'm crazy. It's been a couple of days since I finished Way of Kings and my brain's not doing great, so I'm reading very slowly, so I don't actually know how long it's gonna take me to read this, but we'll see. I'm excited. It's so floppy. I'm not gonna read the floppy copy. I'm gonna read my hardback version because it's where I'm doing tabs. Right, I should talk about my tabs. You missed my vlog for The Way of Kings. Basically, the gist of what I'm doing here is I'm rereading the series to get ready for Rhythm of War, which is the 4th book that's coming out in November. And I'm going through and I'm tabbing things in the book and I'm highlighting passages and I'm annotating. And I'm trying to just get everything kind of lined up and pieced together so that way once the 4th book comes out, I kind of have like everything up to that point ready to go when I want to start theorizing and like trying to link things together and shit, because I love that. I love that so much. And Stormlight's the first, well, not just Stormlight, the Cosmere as a whole is like the first series that I found in quite a while that's made me get really deep into like the theorizing and the trying to figure out what's gonna happen next and getting super immersed into it, not just because it's like a good story, but because there's just so much there, right? So that's what I'm doing with the tabs and the highlighting. I'm tabbing for things relating to the Radiance, the Heralds, and Odium specifically. I'm tabbing for foreshadowing and just Cosmere nonsense, like stuff to do with the shards and the wider Cosmere and all that nonsense. I'm tabbing for the big what the fuck moments. Then I'm also tabbing for things like when Hoyd shows up and he just starts doing some Hoydy nonsense, you know, the good stuff. So he gets his own tabs, and I'm tabbing for World Hopper sightings, which doesn't include Hoyd in this series because he's everywhere in Stormlight. And for Sleepless sightings, which is the Dissy and Amians, which if you don't know what they are, that's fine. But if you do, I'm tabbing for sightings of them. I will say, in The Way of Kings, in my reading vlog, I kind of skimped on like tabbing and highlighting things just because I'm not used to it. I've never really been one to annotate books before, and I've only just recently started trying to do it, so I'm still not right in the habit of it. It's hard to like tab for things that have already happened. Like, I've read both The Way of Kings and Words of Radiance 13 times, and I've read Oathbringer twice, right? So anything that's like foreshadowing in these first 2 books that's already kind of come to had a result, it's like, why would I tab that? Because I already know what it leads to. So I'm trying to like train my brain into tabbing things that I already know what they mean, just to get in the habit of it and just so I can have it for reference. And then that way when I'm getting into Oathbringer, which I don't remember as well, I'll have an easier time of tabbing like all the things that could mean something, that could be leading to something, and then I'll also probably just tab literally everything in Rhythm of War when I get there. But I didn't do a lot of tabbing in Way of Kings because I'm still not like used to it yet, so I'm gonna hopefully do more in Words of Radiance. There's a lot more going on in Words of Radiance. Obviously The Way of Kings is just set up for the whole series. Words of Radiance is when things really kick off. There's plot, there's developments, there's so much, and I'm excited to get into it. The intro for this vlog. I haven't started reading yet. I'll keep you guys updated throughout this vlog. I will film throughout. Like I said in my Way of Kings reading vlog, I don't really know if it's going to be a very exciting vlog because I've already read it before, so you're not getting like brand new reactions to things that happened in the books. It's just me crying about Kaladin. That was a good majority of the first vlog, was me crying about Kaladin, because I am Kaladin. But yeah, so you've been warned. There's spoilers in this video. So if you are not caught up all the way to the end of Words of Radiance, don't watch this video, please. Please don't. Please back out now, okay? Because This series is too good to get spoiled, okay? So if you plan on reading the series or you're in the middle of it now and you're not caught up to the end of Words of Radiance, don't watch these videos. You can come back. You can come back, but get out. Go. Save yourself. And then come back and watch it later when you're caught up. You never planned to read these books, but you still decide to watch these videos. Thanks. I'm sorry. One day I'll start talking about other books again, I promise. But right now, all I care about is the Stormlight archive. It's just my whole brain. My whole brain. So, let's get into it, okay? Stay tuned for actual thoughts and feelings and stuff, okay? Bye! Hello, friends. So, a little update on this reading vlog. I had to order a new copy of Words of Radiance before I could start reading it because my original copy is starting to fall apart. My original copy is the hardback. It's this giant brick, and I've read this copy 12 times. And when I pulled the dust jacket off to get ready to start my reread, I could see that the spine was cracked. It's like not even connected. Look how like bent it is. Like she's so inverted now. I have a lot of copies of Words of Radiance. I don't know why this is. I do have like a brand new paperback version that I've not yet read, the paperback version, because the last time I did a reread, I did the audiobook, and the last time before that I didn't have this yet because I didn't need it. But I don't want to do the tabbing in my paperback copies. I did my tabs for Way of Kings in a brand new copy of the hardback version just because I thought it would like stay together better in the hardback, you know? It would just, I don't know, I just thought it would be easier, but I want them all to match. So I couldn't do it in this one, and the other one's falling apart, and I don't know that it will survive another reread, and I also don't want to put all my tabs in a broken book. I do also, just while we're here, have another copy of Words of Radiance, which is the UK edition. It comes in 2 parts. If you don't know, in the UK it's split into 2 books, part 1, part 2. I have now many copies of Words of Radiance, but the new one has arrived today. She's here, she's crisp, she's clean, she's skinny. Look at this. Oh my god, can we just, a comparison shot. Oh my god, how was it this small? The difference there. Also, she's so yellow. Oh, she's been through it, okay? She's been through it. We're gonna retire her. She's just gonna stay on the shelf now, and then we're going to be doing our tabbing in this brand new, crisp, beautiful copy, which came today, which means I can finally start my reread. I went to get ready to start the reread, and I was like, I can't read this book, it'll break. So I had to order a new one, and it took like 3 days, so I've just been sitting here not reading. But now I can start. I have to leave for work here in like 20 minutes, so once I come back from work later tonight, if I'm not completely dead, I will begin the reread officially for Words of Radiance. So stay tuned in the video for actual Words of Radiance reading stuff. I'm so tired, you guys. Done like a proper update in this reading vlog yet of actually reading, so here we are for that now. I'm on page 335, chapter 27 of Words of Radiance, this little chunker right here. So I've only got 9 tabs so far in the first 350 pages, really, but again, I feel like I'm bad at tabbing the things that I want to tab for. I feel like I'm going to be better about this when I read Oathbringer and Rhythm of War, because I don't remember Oathbringer a lot, and Rhythm of War is going to be brand new to me, so I'm going to want to tab like every goddamn thing that could mean something. Amaram just showed up, you know, he's there doing Amaram shit. Kaladin just rode a horse for the first time this chapter. The horse chapter, called Monster, is one of my favorites just ever because it's so delightful. It's like nothing super meaningful or intense happens in the chapter, it's just kind of funny. which is why it's one of my favorite ones. Also, I love Jeanette, who's like one of my favorite like small side characters that shows up in this series, and I really hope we see more of her in the future because she's just chef's kiss, you know. I love her. So that's where we're at now. Shaylin just kind of started working with Tin. Like, they just had that little dinner together where Tin was like, "You're playing a con," and Shaylin's like, "Yes, I am, sure." So that's what's just happened with Shaylin. Dalinar and Adolin are still trying to work their politics, you know. There was the first assassination attempt on the king with the balcony, and yeah, so not too much has happened. I mean, a decent amount has happened, but not too much. The story doesn't really like kick off until Shaylin gets to the Shattered Plains, which shouldn't be too long now. I'm on her second flashback right now. Yeah, we're about to do another Shaylin flashback chapter. Honestly, Shaylin's flashbacks are so fucked up. I forget. I don't know, I forget. Like, obviously all of the flashbacks are the same in that regard. They're kind of showing you the starting point, not necessarily the starting point, but like a very big kickoff point for your character, and then showing you how they got from there to where they are now, where you know them. And Shaylin's are just so fucked up. Like, I just forget sometimes. I love this book. So much more happens in Words of Radiance than in Wave Kings. Wave Kings is my favorite, but I don't actually know if that's based on like content or just like my personal connection to the story and stuff, because there is so much stuff in Words of Radiance that is so good. And like the entirety of Wave Kings, you're following these different storylines and you're waiting for them to like all come together, and only two of your main characters like meet at the end of the book, and it's at the very end of the book, and it's such a good scene when they cross paths, but it's at the very end of the book. And so in this book, you're waiting, you're like, okay, are any of the rest of the characters gonna like meet yet? Are they gonna cross paths? Because they've been on these like collision courses since the beginning, and they finally do in this one. I think pretty much all your main characters have connected throughout in this book, so a lot more's happening. It's a lot more fast-paced. There's a lot more like plot in Words of Radiance, I feel like, than there is in Wave Kings, because Wave Kings is set up. It's set up for your world, for your larger story, for Kaladin's personal journey. It's all set up. But this one is, you actually get to like dive into what's happening, and so it is faster paced. I think I'll probably end up finishing this like Sunday night. Probably. That would be nice. My goal was to finish it by Tuesday, which is my next day off. I'm off Sunday and Tuesday, so I was hoping to finish it by Tuesday. The other night I was on a Google Hangout with my best friends, Casey obviously, and our friends Haley and Alex, and we were doing it on Google Hangouts because that's what we normally use, but it was like glitching out for some reason. It kept like kicking me out or something, so we decided to go onto Google Meet instead, and my friend Haley clicked on a button that was like auto captions, and so it was like auto trying to caption everything that you said as you were saying it, and it was really funny because, I mean, half the time it was right, but a lot of the time it wasn't, and any time it wasn't, it was just hilarious because of course it was. And so then we were like all getting out books and just reading to see how it would caption our reading, and I think my friend Alex recorded some of those. So, and one of those, I think I was reading from Words of Radiance. I like skipped to like a scene at the end and was reading from Words of Radiance. So I think I'm gonna insert that clip here just because I think it's funny. So please enjoy this little clip of me late at night reading to get weird auto captions with my friends on a Google Hangout, you know? Enjoy that.
Breaks my heart anyways for skeleton.
Same.
Anyways, for skeletons?
Always for skeletons.
How far back before Honor is dead do you want me to start?
Not very far.
A paragraph before, okay. Dalinar turned upon the dance full of spectating wide eyes. "You can watch this?" he shouted at them. "My sons fight alone. There are shard bearers among you. Is there not one of you who will fight with them?" He scanned the crowd. The king was looking at his feet. "Amaram." "What of Amaram?" Dalinar found him seated near the king. Dalinar met the man's eyes. Amaram looked away. "No." "What has happened to us?" Dalinar asked. "Where is our honor?" "Honor is dead," a voice whispered from beside him. Dalinar turned and looked at Captain Kaladin. He hadn't noticed the bridgeman walking down the steps behind him. Kaladin took a deep breath and looked at Dalinar. "But I'll see what I can do. If this goes poorly, take care of my men." Spear in hand, he grabbed the edge of the wall and flung himself over, dropping to the sand to the arena floor below.
Okay, so I will come back to you guys with an update here in a little while after I read some more. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me while I read this book. Hello friends, editing Brianna here, just to say that I had filmed a clip where I was opening a present that Casey had sent me, and I can't put it in the video because don't worry about it. Anyways, I still wanted to talk about it in the video really quick. So Casey sent me this portable hard drive, which was so fucking nice of her. I haven't used it yet. I need to set it up. I'm literally in the middle of editing this video right now and I haven't set this up yet. I probably should have done that first because my computer's been struggling with everything lately, but you know, I've been putting her through it with all of my video editing, just taking up all the space and everything. It's just, there's a lot going on this poor sweet laptop, right? And then Casey sent me this and it was so nice of her. Thank you, Casey. I am sorry that I can't put in the clip where I actually like opened this live in the clip, but that's okay, that's okay. Anyways, Casey, you're the best friend ever. Thank you so much, and I love you a lot. Okay, bye. Read a bit more since last time I talked to you guys. I have a lot of tabbies here in this middle section. All tabs for Radiance stuff because all of the epigraphs in that part are about the Radiant Orders from the In-World Words of Radiance book. So I've been tabbing literally all of them because it's information, so why not tab it? I am currently out of breath. Breathing's hard, guys. I'm currently on page 617, chapter 53, which is right here. More than halfway. I'm gonna try to finish this tonight. Today is Thursday at 1 p.m. I wanted to finish it by now and then have this vlog up tomorrow on Friday, but this vlog's probably gonna be up on Saturday instead, which is fine. My cat's bad. Also, the reason you're in a new spot, I have new shelves. They're not put up yet, but they're just kind of stacked here, so I sat you on top of them. I am almost at the end of part 3. I feel like I'm really short from this angle. I'm almost at the end of part 3. This will get a little rough in part 4. One of my favorite scenes in the entire book is at the end of part 3. You know, it's immediately followed by one of my least favorite scenes in the book. You know the one, the honor, the boon, you know. Anyway, so I'm almost there. Okay, I decided to sit on the floor because I'm tired. So this is what happens when Hoyd shows up in the books. Just so much blue. Yeah, so that was fun. I didn't realize I was gonna highlight that entire sequence, but then I did, and I loved it. So what we've read so far is Shaylin's made it to the Shattered Plains. She met Kaladin. That scene is everything to me. It's so funny, but it's hilarious, right? Because like the boots scene and like just the level of improv of just like, offend, give me your boots, apology with boots, and Kaladin is just like, what the literal fuck? And it's so funny. And it brings me much joy, and anytime any small thing happens, like with our friends, we immediately start screaming, I am offend, apology with boots. We scream that all the time to each other now because it's hilarious. Scene, you know, like 10 minutes later when she fucking kills Tin and you finally see her use her goddamn shard blade, which has been hinted at since like the very beginning of The Way of Kings. It blows my mind so much how like subtly weaved in the hints to her having a shard blade are, and how less subtle they get as time goes by. Like, it's blatantly stated that this bitch has a shard blade multiple times, and yet people were shocked by it when it happened, when she pulled out the shard blade and stabbed Tin. They were like, what? Didn't see that coming. And I'm like, it's been thrown on the page so many times, but it's done so well and so subtly that, like, for people who didn't pick up on that the first time through, like, that's okay because it is done so subtly. But when you read back through it, it's just like, oh my god, how did I miss all of this? I feel like everything's just a mess from her from there on out, trying to like learn how to con people and use her abilities and getting in with the goddamn ghost bloods. Like, child, she stresses me out. Where we're at now, Kaladin has just found out that Moshe is trying to work with the dudes who are trying to kill the king, and he's just like, this is probably fine. Jesus, Kaladin is so dense sometimes. Dude, really? And I just want to say that my favorite thing in this entire series, like my favorite relationship out of all of the relationships, whether it's like friendships and sibling relationships, and one of my papers just fell off the wall and it scared me. Okay. Anyways, my favorite relationship in this entire series, regardless of romantic or platonic or blood related or any of that, my favorite of the entire series is the Radiance friend bond relationship. It just, it's something about it, like I just love it so much. Kaladin and Syl specifically are my favorite just pair in this entire series of friendship, because they really are quite opposite in so many ways, and it's like she's exactly what he needs at certain times. They complement each other so well, and like the way that they truly care about each other, and not just because like they need each other for this magical power bond thing, like they truly care about each other, and it's just, I love it so much. Honor is dead, but I'll see what I can do. Honor is dead, but I'll see what I can do. Kaladin is everything to me, you know, until like 20 pages from now. I love Kaladin so much. Every time it just like sends chills down my spine. But I'll see what I can do. Just, oh god, the beauty, it's iconic. Okay, I gotta go back to reading. Bye. Hello friends, I am back to tell you I finished the book. I don't actually know what the last update I gave you was when I was reading it, so that's great. It's been a time. I've struggled a lot this past like 2 weeks that I've been reading this book. I don't even remember what day I started on. I know that I wanted to finish it on Thursday and then have this vlog uploaded on Friday, but today is now Saturday and it's like 4 p.m. so I'm doing it. Okay, so we finished this tome. There is many tabs. I didn't count them this time. I probably should. I'll put the number of how many tabs I did up here on the screen because I don't actually know. I think in Way of Kings when I was tabbing I did like 47 or 49 tabs, something like that. And I was like skimping on the tabs and the highlighting in the Way of Kings because I just wasn't quite used to it yet. And so I tried to not hold back as much in this one, and I think that shows a little bit. There's just so many tabs. There you go, if you like lay them out like this, you can see. There's so many. There's so many. I have a lot of feelings, obviously, always. So many feelings. Again, I don't think there's too many things in Words of Radiance that I picked up on that's like new to me. There's a few that I'm looking at maybe in new ways. While I've seen it before, it's one of those things that hasn't led to anything yet, and I'm just like, but what the fuck are you? So there's still those things, obviously. I don't know. I love Words of Radiance so much. I always say Way of Kings is my favorite because of just how personally connected I am with the story and the beginning of Kaladin's journey. But this book, I mean, Kaladin's journey in this book is a whole other thing because he kind of slips a little, you know, he slips. And it's relatable. I mean, not to the point where it's like, oh, I'm gonna go kill a king now because I'm sad, but you know, the feeling like you have it all together and that things are finally good, and just anything can take that away from you and you can just slip right on into that depression and trying to fight that version of yourself that you don't want to be anymore, but seeing how all too easily it is to fall into that role again. It's hard to read right now, actually, because I'm kind of in a similar state. My depression's been pretty rough recently. I feel like I was doing really well and managing my depression really well up until recently. I just haven't felt like myself since I got sick. For those of you who don't know, I had the virus back in March, and I was sick for like a month. And I mean, like, I'm fine now, but you know, fine doesn't quite mean what it used to. So, I've just been dealing with a lot physically and mentally, and you know, So, I relate to Kaladin. I mean, I always relate to Kaladin, but just reading the stuff he's going through in Words of Radiance specifically, where he's just kind of sliding back into that person he's fighting so hard not to be, is a touch relatable. It's, you know, just smidge. Which kind of made it difficult to read, which I think is also part of the reason that I kept finding myself not wanting to read. I mean, I wanted to read. I love this series more than anything, and I just wanted to get it done because I'm trying to get caught up with my reread so that I can start reading the chapters that are being released from Tor. I think they're up to chapter 6 now, so I'm not like too far behind in those, but I want to like be part of the discussions and stuff and start theorizing while we wait for the book. And don't do it. Don't do it. Silfrena. My cat Sil is being very bad. One second. If you're new here, I have 5 cats. This is one of them. Her name is Silfrena. Shocking, I know. And she's bad. Were you bad? Were you bad? She says, how dare you accuse me of this? I'm adorable and perfect. I would never do anything wrong in my own entire life. Is that you? Okay, let's go. See, I found myself not wanting to pick up the book just because my mental state's been rough recently. It's taken me longer than I anticipated. I haven't read Edge Dancer yet, which is part of this reread, and I was gonna read that. I'm out of breath now. I was gonna read Edge Dancer. I'm still gonna read Edge Dancer, but I was gonna read it while I was still doing this vlog, but I just want to get this vlog up and done. Maybe I'll put it at the beginning of my Oathbringer reread. If I have anything very significant to say about Edge Dancer, I'll just put it in my Oathbringer vlog because I just want to get this one up since it was supposed to be up a couple days ago and I'm behind on everything. And I don't actually remember much of Edge Dancer other than the pancakes and the crabs, you know, and that's all that matters, right? That's like that's all there is, pancakes and crabs. As far as like what actually happens, like content and plot wise, there's so much more in Words of Radiance than there is in Way of Kings. You get so much more information about like the world and the Radiance and like the magic system. You get so much of that. Not a ton on like the grand scale of things, but you get so much more to go off of in this book than you did in Way of Kings. Way of Kings, again, as I've stated many times before, it's all set up. It's what it is. So this one's kind of like the stepping stone off of that. You're finally getting into like the proper world building and magic system and like tidbits of history and a lot more foreshadowing and things like that. And it just makes the story glide so smoothly forward. Love it so much. Obviously, when Kaladin starts kind of making bad decisions, he makes a lot of bad decisions in this book. Kaladin, oh my dear. Obviously one of my favorite scenes in the entire book is the honor is dead, but I'll see what I can do scene. I think I filmed myself like when I got to that scene because it's just every time I'm just like, ah, it's so good. Even describe like how I feel when I get to that moment when Dalinar is just despairing, accusing all of these people, like, why won't you help my sons? Like, are none of us better than this? Like, what has happened to us? Where is your honor? And then obviously the double meaning of honor is dead. It's so good. So good. Kaladin, he fucks it up immediately after the scene is over. And it's all downhill from there. So, okay though, because you know, he slips a little bit, but he gets it back. And like, honestly, the scene at the end when he's like standing in front of the king who's like collapsed on the ground and Kaladin's like leg is just shredded, he's bleeding everywhere, he can't even hold his fucking knife, and he's just like, at least I stood up, I still tried, this is the end of the journey, you know. Fleet kept running. Fleet. It's so like powerful, just that moment, like once he knows what he has to do, what he feels is the right thing to do, and then he decides, this is what I'm doing, even though I'm gonna die, obviously. Like, he's, I don't know, I love Kaladin so much, so much. There's a lot to be said for Shaylin's development in this book, and not all of it's good, but she hasn't quite gone like full crazy yet. That happens in Oathbringer, and I'm not looking forward to reading it again because I worry about her so much. It's like a lot more confident. She gets better at using her abilities and at just like interacting with people, even though most of the time she's like trying to like con them or convince them of something and like be something she's not entirely, that's not entirely really her, to get her way. She's getting a lot better at that in this book, obviously. And then you have Dalinar. Sweet Dalinar. So much so much. I love Dalinar's story so much in this series because like he's set up to be this character that you're meant to love, you're meant to relate to and like idolize because he's so like good, you know, he's so good. He just wants to do the right thing. He wants to, you know, have peace and hold people accountable, and like he's so full of honor and all this stuff. And then obviously when you get to Oathbringer, it's just like, who was this man before? His journey is honestly, like, it's so well crafted. It's so well crafted. And I will talk about that a lot more when I read Oathbringer, because obviously you get a lot more of Dalinar's personal history in Oathbringer and to see, you know, where he started to where he is and all that nonsense. But I do just love, at like the very, 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 very end, he just like walks up onto the roof and he's just like, yo, Stormfather, you're my bitch now. And Stormfather's like, I guess. So good. I never expected that the first time I read this book. I expected that Dalinar would probably become Radiant. I wasn't certain, but I assumed, because like he's one of our 4 main players, you know? So I assumed he would become Radiant the first time I read this book. And the fact that he just fucking waltz up to the roof and says to Stormfather like, hey, bitch, make me Radiant. Like, iconic, sir. Kaladin is obviously my favorite character in the series and the entirety of the Cosmere alongside Vin. But I think within Stormlight specifically, Dalinar might be my 2nd favorite character. If we're not counting Spren, because Syl is really high up there. Real high. Yeah. I love Syl. I love so many of the characters in the series, but I do think Dalinar is one of my favorites just because his journey and who he's becoming and all this stuff, it's just so well done. Anyways, I don't know really much what else to say here. Like, if I keep talking, I'm just gonna cry about Kaladin. Love this book so, so much. And I can't wait to read Oathbringer just because it's gonna feel like fresh and new and exciting. I'm interested to see how many tabs I end up putting in Oathbringer. I think it's just steadily gonna be more and more tabs with each book. Okay, so thanks for watching, everybody. Like this video and remember to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. If you're new here and you're into Cosmere or Stormlight or just Sanderson works as a whole, I do put out a fair amount of content specific to Cosmere nonsense because it's my brand. But I promise we talk about other books too. Casey definitely does. More than me. But there's other stuff on this channel too, so if like you're completely sick of this by now, I'm sorry. I finished Oathbringer, I'll start talking about other books until Rhythm of War comes out, I promise. So for those of you who aren't Cosmere fans but still stick around and like watch these videos even though you have no idea what I'm talking about, thank you. I appreciate you a lot. Thanks for not running away in fear as I just like wave these giant tomes around. And for those of you who do love the Stormlight stuff, thanks for always watching and commenting and like discussing stuff with me. It makes me really happy because it's my favorite thing in the whole wide world. So thanks, guys. I will see you next time with my Oathbringer vlog. Soon, hopefully. Alright. Life before death, Radiance. Bye!